by the time of this upload, it is probably 24 hours later after Tales of the Shire. If you have played it, tell me, was there any bugs, issues, or even bugs and glitches? Any performance issues? Tell me in the comments.
Let's take a gander at these reviews for Tales of the Shire. You know things are pretty bad for a game when it is worked on by Sweet Baby and it's clearly on the side of the progressive activist crowd, and yet, as you can see here, even IGN could not bring themselves to give this game anything higher than a 40 out of 100. I mean, these guys are notorious for giving everything a 7 out of 10, to the point that most of their reviews are basically meaningless. Hell, they even gave Dragon Age the Veilguard a freaking 9 out of 10 score because they will go out of their way at IGN to find good things to say about even obviously subpar games as long as they conform to their progressive ideological worldview.
Think about that. Why suddenly? Also, I had to ask one question before I answered that previous question that I asked you. Tales of the Shire was supposed to be a cozy game. Couldn't the recommended system be lower? I mean, why had to be so higher? Couldn't it be like previous gen, such as RTX 2070, 2060, something lower where even normies can play it? No, generally, folks. I mean, I usually think that cozy games usually wouldn't take long, or it wouldn't take as much of a beast to even run it. Unless, of course, if it has RPG element, which that's a different thing. Tales of the Shire is actually a cozy game where people can just sit back and relax. That's it. How come the recommended system needed a beast of a PC? And also imagine the hypocrisy. They give Dragon Age Veilguard a 9, which I'm certain there is no performance issue, but the problem with that game, most people, what I've heard, is it's not an RPG. Some parts in Dragon Age Veilguard cannot be accessed. Why is that?
They couldn't find it within themselves to shill for Tales of the Shire, which says a lot. They gave the game a 40 out of 100, and they wrote here, Tales of the Shire is the Grima Wormtongue of games. It whispered many wonderful promises into my ear, but by the end, I was left a wretched shadow of my former self. I had a lot of hope that this could be the perfect mix of a genre I love and the Tolkien world I've spent much of my life nerding out about, but those hopes were cast into the fires from whence they came, with life sim mechanics that are shallow as they come, terrible technical performance, and almost nothing original to say. Tales of the Shire disappoints every step of the way. There's hints of a better game to be found in its slightly more robust cooking mechanics, as well as the occasionally amusing writing and dialogue that proves this setting was indeed ripe for a life sim if executed better, but like a Silmaril, those dreams have vanished deep in the depths. And this idea that the game has terrible technical performance appears to be a bit of a recurring theme. According to Nintendo Life here and their review on Metacritic, the game deserves another 40 out of 100 rating, and they wrote here, cozy gaming plus hobbits seems like a match made in Valinor, and Tales of the Shire tries hard to meet that lofty goal, but in its current state, at least on Switch, this game is unfortunately almost as much of a slog as schlepping evil jewelry to a distant volcano. And then, if we click on that link to read more of this review that Nintendo Life gave, it says here, the dominating feature of this game isn't the hill-based architecture, or the tea parties with passive-aggressive hobbit friends, or the seed distance calculations, it's the bugs.
That is correct. See, this is the one thing. First off, again, like I said, if this is a cozy game, why do you need a beast of a PC? I mean, shouldn't it be better with, I don't know, an RTX 2060 or a 3050 low to mid-range PC? Shouldn't a cozy games, when it comes to PC ports, be in the mid-range tier? Like, say, RTX 3050 4 gigs VRAM, a 2060, something like that? You know, the mid-range that can at least playable. I mean, seriously, why do you need a beast of a PC just to run it? And I know some of you who are watching this, you don't have a PC that is above the 30 series, such as a 4090, 5090, whatever it is. You have a mid-range PC, like RTX 2080, 2070, 2060. I have to make an assumption, whoever made this, I have to make an assumption that Greta Workshop, whoever they make, one of them have a beast of a PC and they thought everybody has the same thing. That's my opinion. FYI, no, not everybody has a beast of a PC when it comes to cozy games.
A typical day in Bywater looks like this. My hobbit wakes up, and the game immediately chugs like Pippin downing a full pint. She skips into town and discovers 10 hobbits amassed outside the pub because they've all got stuck on one another. She goes into a shop, and the screen turns gray, except for the bottom left corner, so she has to navigate out using just that small sliver of visuals. She decides to take a walk in the forest, so she heads out, passing a hobbit with no textures, having a conversation with no one, and then the screen goes red with black spots for a few minutes until it stops doing that for no reason. She gives up on the forest and goes fishing instead, only the fishing UI isn't visible, and the controller is aggressively vibrating like a jar filled with angry wasps and rice. Finally, she decides to go home, but since it's been exactly 30 minutes since her day started, the game crashes. Since I started playing, several of those have been patched. I had a total of 20 hard crashes in 10 hours before they patched out that last bug, but I'm still getting crashes, the textures still aren't loading, and the game still chugs horrendously. So yeah, you get the picture. Apparently these developers at Weta Workshop didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Look, you can't have a diverse characters, okay? I'm not saying you cannot, okay? The one thing you have to know is that if you sacrifice the game quality, the story, just to push messages, how exactly are you going to sell a game that is, I don't know, broken on release? Look, you can make a woke video game, but understand one thing. If your game is broken, aka broken on launch, it's not gonna work. Doesn't matter how many diverse characters you have, if the game is broken.
Maybe if they spent less time tweeting about social justice shit, as I discovered several months ago, and more time working on correcting this sort of nonsense, we wouldn't have this problem. But anyhow, even the positive reviews, of which there are few, aren't exactly glowing for this game. The outlet Comic Book has given the game its highest score at the time of this recording with an 80 out of 100, but even they didn't sound very enthusiastic about the experience they had with the game. They wrote here, if you can get past a few little quirks in how the game runs, Tales of the Shire is going to be well worth your time. It is truly a cozy and wholesome escape to the Shire, full of the daily tasks a hobbit loves best: cooking, eating, and enjoying time with friends. They acknowledge in this review that the game doesn't run well, so I would guess that this game is just utterly screwed. Even its few positive scores are basically suggesting the obvious truth, that you should not buy this game.
Although I have to say this, if you personally like Tales of the Shire, then all the power to you. I'm not saying otherwise. But if you really want to experience Tolkien's legacy, I recommend either Lord of the Rings Online or Lord of the Rings Return of the King game or Two Towers game. If you really want to make a cozy game, which I don't mind though. However, why do you expect that people who just want to lay back has a beast of a PC? Generally, do these people at Weta Workshop even do their research? I had to guess that one of those people at Weta Workshop has a beast of a PC, and he tells everyone that gamers have the same thing he does. Newsflash, no, they don't. I only have an RTX 3050 4 gigs VRAM, a laptop version, okay? And even this one is still struggling to run JRPGs, or in this case, Souls game. But I had to make some sacrifices just to play the game. No, not everybody has a beast of a PC such as a 4060s, 4090s, or the 40 series GPU, or the 50 series GPU. No, they don't. But then again, they will never learn. For them, it's message first, optimization later. They don't care. So my opinion, if you like Tales of the Shire, go for it. But if you really want to experience Tolkien's legacy, I can recommend either Lord of the Rings Online or Lord of the Rings The Return of the King, the game. That may be a movie tie-in game, which is a cash grab, but at least it honors Tolkien's legacy.
comes at last. Hasten to them before the battle is won.
Leave a like and subscribe if you want woke or anti-woke detective or see me play games. Visit my second, third, and fourth channel up here or link in the description.